What up, everyone? It's your boy Paddy, aka Tox, aka Toxin, and you are listening to the newest edition, newest episode, newest entry of Tox Tales. Thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe, guys. I don't want to say it again. Don't make me say it again. I swear to God, if I have to say it again, I'm going to be really mad. Alright? I'm just kidding. Thanks to everybody who has liked and subscribed so far and commented on some of the videos. Appreciate you guys. It's been pretty awesome so far. It's a grind doing the YouTube thing, so any support I greatly appreciate, and I'm just grateful that anybody's listening to my crazy stupid stories about my crazy stupid life. So thank you again. Today we're going to be talking about the story of how I got caught smoking weed in my college dorm my freshman year of college. Don't do it, guys. And speaking of that, right here seems like the most appropriate place to put my episode disclaimer. I do one of these for every episode that includes any sort of substance abuse of any kind. So here it is. I do not endorse or promote the use of any illicit substances. These stories are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not imitate what I talk about in these stories because I had a stupid past. Well, maybe I shouldn't call it stupid. A reckless past. I wouldn't change anything, but that doesn't mean I advise to make any of the decisions I did because they weren't good ones a lot of the time, especially when it came to that. So, this took place my freshman year of college. I went to a community college, and then I transferred after the first 2 years of college to a state school. This was back when I was at the community college. And this specific community college I went to, the dorms there were like really nice. Typically, when you go to college, your freshman year, your dorm is one room, it's tiny, and you share it with another person at least. These dorms at this specific community college were suites, so I had to share my room with somebody, but that was rare. Typically, you just had your own bedroom. And even the room I shared with this person was much bigger than your standard college dorm that people have to typically share with somebody. The bedroom was bigger than that, and then you had a whole suite too with your suite mates. So there was usually 4 bedrooms within the suite, and a kitchen and a living room and 2 bathrooms. So a bathroom for each side of the suite for 2 people, and then for, in my case, 3 people because I had one extra person in my room my freshman year. So one thing that I got into the habit of doing, because I was back then a career stoner, a habitual marijuana smoker, I started to, once I figured out I could get away with it, at least at the time, smoke weed in my suite bathroom because I had a fan, a very powerful fan. And as long as you had the fan on and you put like a towel under the door, you didn't like completely bake it out, and you sprayed something, you typically could, you know, go undetected, smoking a couple bowls in there. And it was easy, especially nights where it was raining or in the winter when it was snowing. It was nice to have that option because going outside every time you wanted to smoke a bowl in the shitty weather was just terrible and annoying, and you never wanted to do it. Sometimes it'd be fun, but most of the time, too lazy. You're a stoner. That comes with the territory. So I got into the habit of doing that on a regular basis, and then I started having people come in there with me. And another thing I did my first year of college, which I also strongly advise against, is I started to, on a pretty low level, sell some weed to kind of just support my habit, I guess, because I didn't want to buy weed. It was expensive to buy weed for the level that I smoked at. So I just started to sell small bags here and there to just be able to get some free weed to smoke for myself. But with that came meeting a bunch of new people, and sometimes not the most savory people, sometimes sketchy people. And my spot, my dorm, my suite specifically became kind of a hot spot. Because after a certain point in freshman year, I started to date my girlfriend at that time, my college girlfriend. And I started kind of just living in her suite, which was down the hall in the same building. And because of that, I didn't really ever go to my dorm, but for one thing, really, and it was to smoke in my bathroom. So it became like the spot to smoke at. Like it was designated as a smoking spot eventually. So with that came people being aware of this, unfortunately. And after a certain amount of time, because we started smoking blunts in there and shit, because I had different people coming in to buy weed from me, and some of these people were blunt smokers, like exclusively. So we were smoking blunts, we were smoking joints in there. We were doing very kind of careless and reckless stuff that you could easily get caught doing. Not giving a shit because we thought we were going to get away with all of it. We thought we were kind of untouchable at that point. So one night, I'm in the bathroom smoking up with this kid, Ray, who I didn't know that well, to be completely honest. But I sold him weed and he seemed cool enough and he was smoking me up on a blunt. And as we're smoking this blunt, I hear my room phone start ringing because each suite had their own phone in the kitchen. And if that phone was ringing, it wasn't a good sign because it was going to be your RA or maybe the RD, the resident director of the college dorms. And typically that's not a good thing. And I hear it ringing and I'm immediately sketched out. And I hear one of my roommates answer it. And he comes up to the door. He knows what we're doing in there, but he never would have said anything. He goes, "Hey, yo, Pat. Apparently Amy wants you to go down to her office." And I was like, oh shit, because Amy was the name of our resident director at the time, and that's the person who runs the dorms. I'm like, all right, thanks for letting me know, man. And I look at Ray. Ray's ripped. He doesn't give a fuck. I don't think he even understood what my roommate was saying. So I was like, I gotta go down to see Amy, man. I'm fucking so ripped. This is not good. He's like, you'll be fine, man. Just act normal. And I'm like, yeah, just act normal. Easier said than done, man. But all right. Just like, you probably got to come out with me though, man. I can't leave you in here. And he's like, all right. And I'm like, sweet. So he follows me out to the hallway, and we part ways at the stairs. And I'm shitting bricks, honestly, because I'm so ripped. And like even back then, when I was pretty good at acting not ripped, I think, because it was back when I smoked all the time, it was just the worst scenario to be in when you're high, and I'd just gotten high too. Like the timing was just horrible. Couldn't have been worse. So I go down, I knock on Amy's door. Her office is right in the main lobby of the dorms, and she says, "Come on in." And I walk in, and she's sitting there, and she looks pissed. And I'm like, okay, so I'm fucked. Like in my head, I'm totally screwed, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get kicked out. Honestly, she goes, "Hello, Patrick. Have a seat. Sit down." And I'm like, "All right, thank you. I'll take a seat. Sure, okay." All awkward and stoned and shit. And she looks me right in my bloodshot eyes, just completely fucking stoned out of my mind, and visually, you can tell. And she says, I shit you not, "So I've heard that you've been smoking doobies in my dorm rooms." And I swear to God, it took everything in my body to not burst out laughing hysterically when she said that, because I was just not expecting it. And I was so ripped. And the fact that she said doobies, it just got me. It fucking sent me. But I kept it together somehow. I didn't even like, I might have smiled, but I didn't like let out even a peep of like a giggle, luckily. And I just like couldn't really even say anything. And I was like, I don't smoke those in the dorms. Like I was just trying to like find a technical way of denying it without actually lying, because I was like typically a smoker of bowls. Like I usually smoked a pipe. But I did smoke some joints from time to time in there. But like I thought that that was a better way to go because it was like less like lying, felt easier to get away with, felt easier to make believable. And I basically just said I had smoked in the dorm bathrooms before, but that I wasn't actively doing it, which was like the best I could do in the moment. And I shit you not, the next thing she says is, "What are you, fucking retarded?" I'm not joking. She asked if I was fucking retarded. And those two words together, that combination coming from your resident director at your fucking college dorm, will really just completely blindside you. Because That's just insane. I would never expect someone at that level of professionalism to say that to a student. And I just like could not wait to be out of that office because I was once again trying not to laugh my fucking ass off and die in front of this person because being stoned and being obviously stoned and her realizing that would just make the situation much worse. But looking back on it, I probably was obviously stoned to her, but like I didn't think so at the time, I'm sure. But either way, she said, "Don't ever do it again. If I catch you doing it again or I even hear about you doing it again, you will be kicked out immediately and you will have nowhere to live on this campus." And I was like, "Heard, loud and clear. I will not ever do that again. I swear. I'm so sorry." And she's like, "Get out of my office. Don't let me see you again this semester because we don't want that to happen. There will be hell to pay." And I'm like, "I believe you. I'm sorry. Thank you for giving me another chance. You won't be seeing me anytime soon, I swear." And I quickly left the office and I went into the elevator, went back up to my floor. I went directly to my room, started cleaning the bathroom and spraying and just trying to make it as clean as possible and smell nothing like weed to the best of my ability. And then I was going to quickly head to my girlfriend's dorm right after that and tell her what happened. And I didn't get caught ever again smoking, but I continued smoking in the bathrooms at that dorm. I didn't really even slow down that much, to be completely honest. I was an idiot. So don't ever do that or any of these things that I talked about in this story or any of my stories because you can clearly see how I really didn't learn my lesson in a lot of situations, like that one specifically. Perfect example. But that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you liked that story. Hopefully, you enjoy the crazier, wackier college stories that I do from time to time. Hit a like on that video and comment down below if you have some crazy, wacky college stories and would like to share them. And subscribe if you're new. And that's it. Peace out, yo.